Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam istimewa. Welcome back to English Corner with me, Mr. Stephen. In this video, we will learn how to offer and ask help politely. Offering and asking help is very important for us in social relationship because we cannot live without others, right? Just check the explanation from Rebecca in ingvid.com to know the expression of offering and asking help. Check this out.
Hi, my name is Rebecca, and in today's lesson, I'm going to show you 4 different ways in which you can offer help in a polite way to someone, and also how you can accept or refuse that help in a gracious manner. Okay? So let's look at the board. This can help you in a personal situation and also at work in a professional situation. So let's have a look. Okay. So there are different ways in which we can offer help. Some are more formal and some are more informal. So the first 2 I'm going to talk about are more formal and the next 2 are informal. So in a formal situation or in any situation where you want to be more businesslike or more professional, you could say, would you like me to, for example, open the window, right? Would you like me to open the window? Or, would you like me to get you some water? Or, you can use this expression as well. Very polite. Shall I shut the door? Shall I switch off the television? Okay? Well, that's probably going to be more at home, so let's say it was an informal situation. You could say, let me switch off the TV. Or just, I'll get the door for you. Let me help you with those bags. Okay? So again, depending on who you're talking to and in what context, you're going to use something more formal or something more informal. Okay? And any of these will work very well. Now, how do you accept or decline, which is to say no, that help? Well, in a formal way, you could say, thank you very much. So if someone says, would you like me to get you some water? You could say, yes, thank you very much. If someone says, shall I open the window? You could say, thank you. If someone says, I'll get the door for you, you might just say, thanks. Okay? So again, the level of response matches the level of the question, right? The level of the offer. If it's more formal, then you're going to respond more formally. If it's more informal, you'll respond informally. All right? You can also be very, very polite and say, if someone says, would you like me to get you some water? Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Okay? So you could go on and be even more polite. Now let's say you don't need any help. So if someone says, let me switch off the TV, you can say, no thanks. Okay? Or if someone says, I'll help you with those bags. No thanks, I'm good. Okay, I'm good is kind of slang, because normally we don't say I'm good, but it's used a lot, especially in North America, and it means I'm fine, thanks, I don't need anything. Alright? Or you could say, if someone says, would you like me to get you some water? Say, no thank you, I'm fine. Or, shall I help you with those suitcases? No, thank you. I can manage. Okay? So something like that, again, depending on the situation. You can always just say, thank you here and no thank you here. Alright? So if you'd like to do a quiz on this subject, just to get a little more practice into how you can ask these questions and how to accept or decline, you can go to our website, www.ingvid.com. Thanks very much for watching. Good luck with your English. Hi, I'm Rebecca from Ingvid. In this lesson, I'm going to show you 3 simple ways that you can ask a polite question in English. Okay? Now, usually when we're asking a question, we're asking if we can do something, where we're asking permission, or we're asking someone else to do something for us, in which case we are requesting that they do something. All right? And there are 3 key words that you can use for this purpose, but in different ways. So let's look at what they are. All right. So those three words are can, could, and may. Now, of course, you've heard those words before, and I'm sure you use them as well, but let's be really sure when to use which one. So it's very easy. We use can in more informal situations. All right? What do I mean by informal? For example, with your family or friends. All right? We use could in more semi-formal situations. Semi-formal means a little bit formal. For example, with your colleagues, people you work with, right? With your hairdresser, perhaps. With a salesperson in a store, all right? There we could use could. So we kind of know that person, or we don't know that person too well, but it's not a very formal situation. And the last is in formal situations when we use may. So what's a formal situation? Well, for example, if you're talking to a client or a customer, or you're at an interview, then you want to be on your best behavior, use your best manners, be very polite, be very formal and proper, and that's when we use may. Now, there is a little difference in terms of the grammar of how we use these three words. So, with can and could, we can use those two with all of the pronouns. So we can say, can I, can you, can we, could they, could he, could she, could it, all right? We can use those with all of the pronouns. But when we come to may, we can only use it with I or we, all right? May I do this or may we? You can't really ask permission for somebody else so much. So this is these are the two ways we use may, all right? Sometimes you might hear it with one or two other pronouns, but really these are the most common, all right? So that's what you want to be able to use, so you can always be 100% right. Now, let's look at the same question and how it's different with the three words, all right? So let's say I'm at home and I ask someone from my family, can I have some orange juice? All right, so there I'm using can because it's really informal. Now let's say I'm at the mall, I'm at the food court, and I'm ordering some juice. So I say, could I have some orange juice? All right, slightly more formal. And now let's pretend that we're in a fancy restaurant and I'm ordering orange juice. So then I say, may I have some orange juice? Okay. Now you could add the word please also, but with some of these, it's already very polite. So you don't have to go overboard. You don't have to do too much. You don't have to always say please, especially when you're asking for yourself, okay? If you're requesting something that someone else do, then often we do add the please as well, okay? Now, what are some of the responses? We're not really focusing on the responses in this lesson, but let me just tell you what would be the appropriate responses, positive responses and negative responses to these questions. So if someone said, can I have some orange juice? Informal. The answer might be, sure, here you go. Or, could I have some orange juice? Yes, of course. May I have some orange juice? Certainly. Okay? So you see that the formality of the question matches the formality of the answer. If it was negative, can I? Sorry, we're all out. Could I? I'm sorry, we're all out. May I? I'm afraid we're all out. Okay? Same basic information, but represented quite differently. So now let's look at some more examples. All right. So informally, we could say, can I help you wash the dishes? That would be a really nice thing to say to someone. Okay. All right. Or, can you clear the table, please? Now you see here, because I'm requesting something of someone else, it's perfectly nice and fine to say please at the end, okay? Can you clear the table, please? What does that mean, clear the table? After you finish eating, you know, there are a lot of dishes on the table, and when you take those dishes to the kitchen or wherever, and you clear the table, that's called clearing the table, all right? Next, in a semi-formal situation where we're using could, we could say, could I get your email address? Or, could you send me the report, please? All right, that's again some business examples, very common questions that we need to ask people. All right, and here, the more formal situation, may I help you? This is probably the most common question that is used in customer-oriented situations. Every time you walk into a store, especially a fancy store, may I help you? May I help you? Or on the phone if you have a customer service job, okay? And then sometimes a little bit more specific. May I help you carry your bags, ma'am? Let's say in a hotel, all right? So anytime you're trying to be really polite to that other person, you want to use may. These were my examples. Now let's see how you do. All right, so now you need to decide whether to use can I, could I, or may I in these situations, all right? So you're talking to your professor. What do you say? Blank, submit my paper on Monday. Can I, could I, may I? Well, this is something where you are going to have to decide. Perhaps you'll say, could I submit my paper on Monday? Or, depending on your relationship with your professor, depending on the personality of the professor, depending on the personality of the university or the country that you live in, you might need to use the more formal version. May I submit my paper on Monday? I would probably say in that situation, may I, because I really want to be able to submit my paper late, which is probably what we're asking here. All right. So sometimes, even if your relationship with someone is semi-formal, you might still want to act a little more formal because of your specific request. All right. Okay. Now here you're talking to a friend. So what do you say? Blank, open the window. So here it's pretty straightforward. Can I open the window? All right. You're talking to a hotel guest. Blank, help you get a taxi. So again, here you want to be very formal. May I help you get a taxi? Good. You're talking to a salesperson in the store. Blank, speak to the manager. What are you going to say? This is one of those semi-formal situations, all right? So you'd probably say, could I speak to the manager? All right, good. Hope you got those. Now let's move here to can you or could you, all right? So you're talking to a child, your child probably. So what do you say? Blank, clean your room. So probably most parents would say, can you clean your room? You can always be polite to your children because you're also trying to teach them. So you could always say, could you clean your room, please? Because that way you are modeling how they should speak. So that's fine. But on an everyday basis, lots of people would probably say, can you clean your room? Okay? Or at least add the please. Next, let's say you're speaking to an audience and you want them to switch off their cell phones, right? So blank, switch off your cell phones. So here you would say, could you? Again, it's more formal. Could you switch off your cell phones, please? All right, there would be a good place to put the please in. All right, you're talking to your brother. Blank, call me later. So what would you say? Can you, right? Informal relationship, you know him. Can you call me later? I'm busy right now. Next, you're asking a receptionist. Blank, connect me to the sales department, please. So what would you say? Again, you want to be a little bit more polite. Could you connect me to the sales department, please? All right. Now, that was really good. Hope you got all of those right. If you want to really master these three words, can I, could I, and may I, then please go to our website at www.ingvid.com. And there you can do a quiz on this and really master it so that you know it once and for all. And that's it. You don't have to keep going round and round. You've got it. All right. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel for lots of other delightful lessons that will help you improve your English much faster. Thanks very much for watching. Bye for now.
How is the video? Very good, right? I do hope after watching we can over and ask help politely. Now, your time to complete the challenge on your module. I'm waiting for scoring. See you on the next video. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and salam istimewa.